As we end our day, I wanted to share a little bit of this lovely port of Casamicciola Ischia. Then we're going to chit-chat a little bit more on 5D mystic, spiritual life, law of attraction tips and ideas or thoughts, perspectives. Very different than the 4D collective, and I will share with you why in just a minute. So, the law of attraction tips, ideas, perspectives, 5D mystic here. 1, getting your inner child, adult, in alignment. So once you are your whole self, nothing but yourself, and that means that you unconditionally love like a functional adult, and that's where we are at, our lovely 5D collective, mystics and people, or that's where they want to be. So it's called integration of the brain. Once you have that capacity to unconditionally love all 8 billion and growing people, because you can unconditionally love yourself with flaws and imperfections, and you know how to consistently be a pacha from Cusco land, okay? So this is where my regular listeners and viewers, they all know about this. The pachas are the functional adults of the world, and we know how to securely attach in any type of relationship because we're securely attached in here. And that's where law of attraction, so how does it work once you are in alignment? Well, it's amazing. I remember when I first began to notice it, and that's since a long time ago because I'm a person who grew up with Jesus. And so Christ consciousness is 5D, number 1. And although our lovely religious people are divisive on a lot of things, and so are those who are against religion and faith, and they're not really against, is that they have had no proof for them, okay? Oh, I forgot, but also because, so physicists, quantum physicists, all the sciences, yeah, they explain our clairs. So I forgot to mention that. I know about sciences and spirituality coming together. And that's why the 5D mystic here knows that it's not because of demons that our earth is, doing its thing. And that's for another side note in the future. But the law of attraction, and the tip is that, number 1, you take your mental health and hygiene completely seriously. And you get out of the adaptive child. That's number 1. The minute that you get out of that, you're going to notice a difference between a 5D mystic one and the 5D collective. And that's why we do spirituality journey here too, not just self-help, personal development, but what primarily all of it will always involve is how to become more equanimous, more unflappable, more unconditionally loving and forgiving like Jesus taught me, and my lovely God. Because see, my God was not introduced to me in a way of actually being so what all the other people, when they tell you that yoga brings demons out of you, they're ignorant. They don't know that you store trauma charges in your muscles, bones, and tissues. And some scientists don't believe Peter Levine, but the academics, they have data. The ones who are delusional at this point in my book are the ones who don't have the data. Their 14-month-old doesn't like the data, and they're deciding they don't like the data based on their 14-month-old, and that means they have a 3-year-old that has a shame button, and that's because they didn't get a securely attached home. So they have non-bilateral integration. So you'll notice that when I say teenagers, Pinocchios, Strombolis, Peter Pans, Lost Boys, when I talk to you about anything that involves people who think manipulation is like only of a group, yeah, 1, we all manipulate words because otherwise you won't be able to talk to each other. And 2, those same people that think that anybody is manipulatable, yeah, they're manipulable by Strombolis. I see them getting, head over heel for the 7 to 14 charming. This is on an evil scale of Michael Stone, a forensic criminologist. Then they want to pinpoint the 14 to 24 who end up in jail because they're unfortunate and don't get a person like Dr. Daniel Fox. And so they want to say that we lack the imagination for evil stuff. Yeah, no, we don't. We lack no imagination. Actually, we're bountiful in it. What I have is education as a 5D mystic and my clairs. And here's the other part. So again, as you become completely aligned, if you maintain your alignment, raise your hand. Thanks, Jesus. That's why people get annoyed with people that are unconsciously loving. They don't want to be their authentic self yet. And it's not that they don't want to be, it's that they are completely, excuse me for the background noise. The thing is this, the shame cycle, shame, blame, fault, and revenge. Yes, so those are low self-esteem. And the 3-year-old needs the 16-year-old to stop spiting their own self, and then the 1-year-old, and the actual lack of secure attachment figure that they did not have. Okay, so it's very much, the thing is projecting towards unconditionally loving, authentic, happy people. You're all pretending to smile. You're toxic positive. Now, there's these words that people get hooked up on, so we're not going to get into that one right now. What I want to continue concluding with, and I'm going to try not yelling because I'm sure you can hear me pretty good, but I have more voices around, so try not to get too distracted if you can. We'll find out if they are okay with their loudness, because you know, the passionate Italians, now I have to say, I love my passionate Neapolitans. In fact, the chaos and living like tomorrow might not be here is something magical. And at the same time, so La Dolce Vita, no better place than Naples, Italy, between the Vesuvius and the flagrant fields with the Braticism, yeah. Oh, but it's so beautiful. Yes, you saw a little bit of it. Definitely, I'm going to say I'm biased when it comes to this place. And I hope it stays here for a while. That way I'll be able to be here for a while longer. But anyways, back to law of attraction. So as you align yourself with your complete whole self, this is the part that the 4D don't get because they're too busy wearing their Elsa Journey mantle. Show yourself, I'm dying to meet you. Yes, and the 3-year-old really would love for them to get first to get therapy, get their sense of self lens, figure out if they're a whole self, are you securely attached, are you not securely attached. Then let's work if we got a maladaptive child behavior. Let's work if we got those shame cycles, okay? So the fact that they will be triggered, not triggered, they won't notice it unless they are self-aware. If they're self-aware, accountable, and regulating, then they want to have a conversation with grown-ups, okay? So functional adults are grown-ups. And this is the part of where law of attraction, again, tip number 1, your mental hygiene and your whole self back on board. Now, there's a Zen master who tells you have laundry. I'm here to tell you have emotions. The minute that you go to a good therapist, EMDR, child parts work, somatics, and that you have expanded your window of tolerance to window welcome, and that you're self-aware, accountable, and regulating, and you do want to live a life of meaning and connection beyond the solo self, which you have and I have, then you have a core self. You get out of the shame button into the love button. You have a narrative self, a relational self, so you understand that the sensations, images, affects, meanings, and behaviors, first 3 years of life, is all implicit memory. So those are sensations. Your nervous system doesn't learn self-regulation with the social engagement like I did, ventral vagal state, unless you put your best foot forward to get out of the dysregulated nervous system that you learned, which is quite scary. I have panic attacks, but mine are nowhere near anything related to unresolved trauma. And there's one, my light body, I'm an Akashic record reader, and I'm a tarot card reader. I'm self-taught, but I'm a channel like anyone else, and we all are if we want to be, but there is an expansion of your energy body. I learned this from one of my courses. And in fact, when she said, if you're 4'9", no, she didn't say that, but if you're small, and then we got a big person, a small person can contain less, but they can expand their energy body. Like you can expand your emotional body once you are aware of wanting to be an emotional person to the depths of you, and knowing though that if you did not get securely attached, the first thing that's going to happen, like Patrick Tian, our lovely childhood trauma survivor who's healed and healing and a therapist shares, is you're going to probably be in a very, very upset, sad, big mood, but in a good way, because you want to get yourself to your wholeness. And that's for people who have unresolved trauma. Of course, again, self-help, spiritual awakening, this journey is when you're ready to do emotions. So you would have the priority of your inner and outer well-being is very important. And so law of attraction, 1, it is amazing that you will manifest. And I mean, I have a story, and I'll keep it vague because we're running out of time. But for example, today, this day that you see me traveling, everything, I can't even make this shit up. You know, this is the part about the 5D mystics and anyone who is within the mystic community. We will notice that you cannot make shit up. Everything went in alignment, second after second after second, to get here, the bus, to get my bathing suit changed, all of this. Again, it sounds silly and I don't have enough time to explain, but anyone who is already aligned will know. And if you're not, like I said, getting your inner world in alignment is number 1. And you can keep tuning into HP if you want to. There's plenty of stories here. And as for Claire's, also, I'm self-taught, for example, in tarot and Akashic record readings. I am a Reiki master, that I have the lineage of my lovely, I forget the whole lineage thing, but this is to say it's easy because we are connected to Akash, and that's with Christ consciousness and unconditional love. So tune in for more. And again, law of attraction tip number 1, to want to be yourself with unconditional love and to want to live a life of meaning and connection. That's the spirituality part with our human hurt.